Junior, say hi. I was so unenthusiastic. We're going to Paris.
Sure.
A bit more energy.
Energy.
Yeah, energy.
It's 7 a.m. in the morning.
Are you excited? How are you feeling?
How you feeling? I know you feel naughty and I treat you can't say what I mean.
So this is an Airbnb, but we have to check in at 3 p.m. unfortunately. So we're gonna head to a cafe. How would you rate the chips out of 10?
Minus.
I think maybe they're just lacking in salt.
Just get this down.
Yeah.
It was cute.
Freaking cute. Oh my gosh. Settings and that.
Let's go.
Oh my god! Look at this guy.
I'm thinking,
Where's my camera?
I was genuinely thinking she has to be. Because how can you just start screaming?
How would you rate first day out of 10?
Yeah, it was a solid 6, I can't lie.
6 out of 10.
It was, you know, bare traveling, got there, we were very tired, you know, tried to go to a couple food places, the food was a bit comme ci, comme ça, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, once we got home, basically crashed it for a couple hours.
Overslept.
Yeah, overslept. It was a messy day, but you know, it was the first day, so for it to be a 6 is, it means it can only get better from there, innit?
Exactly.
Or worse. We'll stay tuned.
What's my turn? The food is actually the only thing that brings it down. I'll give it like a 6 as well. It was very mid. Like,
it was so mid. Oh,
the steak that we had, I had so much hope because how do you get a steak wrong? And then it just tasted like the cow had been dead for like 40 days and 40 nights. Like, fries were really good at Cafe Ella. I 110% recommend. And the drink.
Yeah,
Just the fries. The onion soup was also not bad.
Don't let her lie to you.
Yeah, 6 out of 10. The sleep after we got here was magnificent. Like, it was. Yeah, 6 out of 10.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Only.
God, don't say that. That was a bit too raw.
Next, the robot actually places the vaccine.
Okay, so how are we finding it so far?
The last 3 talks were very boring. But the stores have actually been really interesting. Like,
Yeah, the people doing different pitches.
like in terms of like the inventions, someone had a robot to inject you instead of doing it like the 45-degree angle.
Yeah, literally just has a robot that does it for you.
Perpendicular to your skin.
Yeah.
which is super interesting and fresh and new.
Yeah. To be honest, I found that last one quite interesting with all the wearable devices.
Yeah.
Like that was so weird. Like how you had a bath mat that could collect your vitals, literally just showing your face. Would show you.
That's a thing though. That's already a thing. I
didn't know that either.
Fitbits. I know about the watches because my dad was like, "Can you get me a watch?"
Even
that
like
takes glucose levels. Like
what's it? The bandages as well. That like they send like waves to the skin to like put the antimicrobial into the skin. That is crazy. Yeah.
I don't know about that. It's all really futuristic.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of these things literally are in effect today. I had no idea.
Neither did I. How's the conference going so far?
It's actually really decent, I can't lie. Surprisingly enough. I thought tomorrow will be better. Or once we go back in for part 2, you know, see a couple more workshops, conferences, etc, etc. It's been decent so far still.
How was the workshop?
It was good still. The one that you man left me at in the morning, what was it called again? Oh yeah, pearls. It was basically talking about process equipment, reachable sustainability. It was talking about that, how if you use a certain type of process, you can basically have contamination. It was interesting. It was just interesting overall. I can't really have to go into the depths of it, but it was interesting.
I know you're lying.
Feel me, I'm warm.
Okay, so right now we're by the sand and we're about to go on a boat cruise.
On the River Thames.
Yeah. How did you find the whole experience?
The entire experience was really an eye-opener into a world of sustainability, and you know, it gave like a little sneak peek, a little snippet of what the future holds in terms of drug packaging, delivery of drugs, and just how we're all looking after our environment in a safe and responsible way, you know?
So what was your like most interesting thing about
the most interesting thing about the entire conference was the fact that there was no black people.
Oh, yeah.
As a community, why are we not stepping? No, I digress. Let me not put the blame on black people. Let me put the blame on the big bosses. Why are you not employing us? Why? The amount of people from different countries that came together in this one space, all sharing ideas. It was very fascinating and very refreshing. However, some of the ideas you have to just side eye. You actually just have to side eye, because why? Not only
Everybody's so creative.
No, for real. Like, everybody's so creative, for real. Because what do you mean? why, and the amount of like the same inventions just in different fonts that there was. Come on, guys, let's be more creative. Let's think outside of the box. And yeah.
Cool. What would you say was your least favorite part about the conference?
Bro, the walking. My feet are finished. I'm pretty sure I have blisters. I would say the lack of students there as well, because I feel like that would be such a good space to learn as a student. So I just feel like it should be advertised to more students.
How did you find the overall conference experience?
I'll give it a solid 7 out of 10.
What do you enjoy about the conference?
The lab workshop. It was about assessing process equipment related to leachables.
Yeah, so kind of like the information that you gained from the conference.
Yeah.
What would you say was like your least favourite part about the conference?
The fact that there's not a lot of black people is quite jarring. It's disencouraging, you get, like, you know, not seeing a lot of people like you, whether that has similarities to you. It's disencouraging. You don't feel like you can make it in such an industry. You get, it's not a nice thing to be involved in, and in all honesty, it could be quite daunting. Obviously, this was our first professional convention. I know personally, yesterday when I first entered, I was like, rotted. This is real life. As we went on, it became easier, became more chill. But I feel like at least it doesn't even have to be black people, just people of ethnicity, of diversity. Yeah, that would have just made me at least feel more at ease. But I guess that's something that the industry has to develop as we grow in time.
Yeah, so I guess a couple reflections from me. I'd say the same sort of thing that the other guys were saying. It was really interesting. Highly recommend for more students to attend. Just like conferences that you can go to, be able to talk with professionals, like talk about how they got into industry, stuff like that. Even though I'm, like, a lot of it was about like drug packaging, and I mean, obviously as a neuroscience student, I'm kind of more I'm more looking into like the scientific side of it, but a lot of these people who were there were engineers and stuff like that. But obviously they have connections to the companies and they can like say the ideas around your topic and just get you to think about it. I really like the focus on sustainability, because I know that the pharmaceutical industry is like really, really, I don't know, it has a big impact on the climate crisis and stuff like that. So I like how they were talking about it more. And, you know, just being able to go up to companies and be like, hey, how are you thinking about sustainability, you know, in your work? And some of them being like, you know, we haven't really considered it, but hopefully after this conference, they'll be able to consider it more. Yeah, and I would say that my least favourite part, yeah, I would also talk about the lack of diversity. Almost expected, but still really discouraging to see basically no diversity in the industry. Even when you go up to certain companies and they're talking about, oh yeah, we do it all, like we do our stuff all over the world, but it's just like Europe and North America, and then it's like you talk about being a global company, but there's nothing in Africa or like Asia. And then we even asked a few people like, oh, you know, would you consider expanding to these places, especially like in Africa where like, you know, sterilization and like stuff like that would be really beneficial to certain communities. But they're just like, oh no, like you want to focus on Europe and America. Otherwise, overall it was a great experience just to see, you know, how a conference works, be able to talk to people, make connections, just be, you know, inspired to build my own career.
In the house.
Period.
De me prendre à ses bras, mes peurs de te battre.